What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to Reality Pill. Today, we are going to react to another Kevin Samuels video. Before we get into it, make sure you guys like and subscribe.
I can. Your first name is? Go ahead. First off, are modern women overqualified for marriage?
I actually typed in the chat box, what is your definition of modern women? Because I think that kind of clears,
Women in 2020. I mean, take the question as it were, ma'am. I don't. You can answer it however you like to answer it. Modern women. I don't really know. You want me to go to give you the Webster's dictionary?
No.
Working women. Modern working women.
Like educated, highly educated. I'm assuming high
They
paying.
can be that. They can be that. They can be
Okay.
highly educated. They can just have a high school education. But what women today are not the women that were raised in our grandparents, great grandparents, silent generation. Women today are different. I mean, we're socialized differently. We're raised differently.
Mm-hmm.
And many women feel as though they're overqualified for marriage. I ran down at the beginning of the broadcast, I went over 11 things that women are often told not to settle because you have all these things.
No,
and ultimately makes them overqualified. Go ahead.
I definitely don't believe that women are overqualified. They can be educated, very highly intelligent, attractive, know how to and domesticated, know how to keep a house, know how to raise children.
Hold on. Let me, you say they do know how to do these things?
Yes.
So most women know how to keep a house and raise children?
Yes, the women that I know, yes, they all know how.
All right, to. But due respect, we're talking about far more than just the women you know.
Right.
So when I'm talking about, especially in the Black community, what percentage of Black women would you say have the skill sets that the women of the women you're talking about?
Of keeping a home, raising children.
Yeah, what percentage of Black women in the country? What percentage of Black women in the United States have those skills?
I would say more than half, probably about 70%.
So, at the beginning of the broadcast, I put up a straw poll that I asked, and of almost 7,600 male respondents, 83% of men said that women today do not qualify to be marriageable. And then I asked the same thing of women, and they said only 30% of men aren't qualified as marriageable. But what I'm hearing you say is fully 70% of women have these wifely skills.
Yes, sir.
Why is it the men don't see it just saying? Why is it the men surveyed don't see what you're saying, and they're out here dating them?
Well, I think that perhaps it's the type of women that they're dating.
Well, just going according to the math, if it's the type of women that they're dating, they can't just be dating only the 30%, according to her logic. They would have to be dating most of these women, and then going based off of that, they're going to give their depiction of the women they date. But she's just trying to coddle the truth a little bit, which is fine. Which is fine. If she wants to live in that delusional world, let her be.
Because if you're looking for someone who who knows how to cook, who can keep a home, who can raise children, she may have children. She may be struggling with her weight.
Hold on. How old are you?
But
hold on. How old? 30?
Yes, sir.
30?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm 51. And let me give you a little background. I've been dating since I was 15. In my 36 years of dating and 2 failed marriages, I've known 2 women that could cook. 2. I can go onto my mixed group and pull up 400 men who will tell you the same thing. Ma'am, due respect, there may be something to be said about the women that these men are choosing, but I think it's kind of disingenuous to just overlook and say the majority of men aren't seeing what's really out there. If 70% of women, in particular, are we talking about black women? If 70% of black women could do this kind of stuff, why are 1 in 4 married to anybody?
Well, you're asking me a
Yeah,
question, correct?
if 70% of black women have these wife skills, why can 1 in 4 expect to be married to anybody?
Well, in my opinion, I believe that a lot of people aren't looking to be married. That's why they aren't.
Okay, 2019, divorces were at a 50-year low in the United States. 2019, new marriage filings were at a 50-year high. People are still getting married, man. When I on this channel, especially even in my group, uh, roughly now it's about 600. At the time it was like 800 black men and black women. Of the 400 men asked, "Do you want to be married?" 397 said yes. 3 said no. In less than 4 months of going on 5 months of having this group, 5 couples have gotten together in my Facebook group. 2 on their way to being married, and it's just a group I threw together as a happenstance. Ma'am, men want to be married. And what I'm hearing and what I'm trying to show you, ma'am, is the disconnect that you have with there's a disconnect between what women believe and what men are saying they see. That's all I'm trying to show you. Not that you're wrong, that you ladies just see something different than what the men are seeing.
The only thing that I'm thinking about is how a lot of our parents or grandparents, like I said, I'm in my 30s. My mother is in her 60s, grandmother in her 80s. And they were taught the value of keeping a home and cooking, cleaning, and they were married, right? But then a lot of those marriages ended up in divorce and things like that. And even though that um those generational things were taught to, from grandmother, mother, from mother to daughter, I think that sometimes modern women, don't necessarily think that that's enough to keep a husband,
Well,
just knowing.
hold on. Let me stop you right there.
Hmm.
How do modern women don't think that it's enough, but how do
Yes,
they
sir.
know? See, what it is modern
Well,
women aren't asking men what they want. That's the ultimate answer. You ladies are out here making up what you want. And when men want fit, feminine, cooperative, single, childless, that's basically what men want. Fit, feminine, cooperative, single, childless. That's what most men want of any socioeconomic status. Cooperation being at the top for everything. And I get what you're going to say that women in the past had all those wifely skills, but ended up in divorce. We didn't have a divorce rate of over 51%, but prior to 1965, the black community was married at a rate of 80%. We were the most married in this country. 80%. 80. But now we have a marital rate where 1 in 4 black women can expect to be married, and of those 1 in 4, when a divorce happens, 80% is filed by sisters. Ma'am, what we have to really start doing is asking men what they want. And if men are saying they're not seeing marriageable women, it's not because they're dating thoughts. It's because the women that they're seeing aren't marriageable. And I gotta tell you, ma'am, if you really believe 70% of women out here can cook, clean, take care of kids, and do all the stuff like mama, big mama, and grandmama and them, you are what neighborhood are you in? Because we all need to go there. What country you live? What state you live in?
Exactly. Because this is not the norm for the masses. See, back then, he's just trying to make the comparison that back then, this was actually the norm. But a lot of women have shied away from this because, obviously, feminism and everything else has given women more equal rights, but that's not the problem. The problem is the bad apples in feminism, the ones that want to be able to have all the equal rights but not take the same responsibility. Those aren't the ones we're not. Those are the bad apples. It was a great point by Kevin.
Well, I live in DC,
DC. So what we fellas in
but
in DC
hold on.
in DC.
But I was raised in the nation,
Okay.
so
Well,
these
but again, the nation
values
ain't. But the nation is not. The nation isn't this country, ma'am. So come on, let's be honest.
I know the nation isn't, it
You know,
isn't
if you're
representative.
born
It
in the
isn't.
nation, Shahrazad Ali been talking about this since 1989. Hello, really,
Well, I mean,
really,
but
really.
you have to understand that the things that you're talking about have been instilled in me since I was a young
But ma'am, I
girl.
didn't
So,
ask. But I asked you in this country. See, I asked you not anecdotally. I asked you of all black women in this
mhm.
country, and you said 50, maybe even 70%. You didn't say in the nation. You just said in this country. That's
Well,
what you
I mean, because
said.
in the nation that would be 100%,
But that's not
and
what. But
that's
ma'am, but that's not what I
right, and
asked you.
that's why I brought my numbers down to, be mindful of the people who aren't necessarily
Okay,
in the
but
nation, but people
okay,
who have
ma'am. But
grown in
what
the
you
church.
brought your numbers down to, what you brought your numbers down to for outside of the nation was still half of all black women, as much
Mhm.
as 70% of all black women, and that's you being conservative. And what I'm telling you is when 83% of men surveyed say that women are not qualified for marriage, you got to listen to that instead of your conservative estimation that 50 to 70% of women are have wife duties and wife skills. When the previous person right before you said she didn't have, the previous women said they didn't know none of that. Did you hear them?
Yes, sir.
So this is what I mean. You see the cognitive dissonance, or women, you just don't want to look at what men are saying, even when you hear it from women. I don't get that. And to be in the nation, and as an avid, I actually, and the post I made actually referenced Shahrazad Ali today. I'm baffled.
Well, I'm gonna be honest and say that this is literally the first time that I've listened to you.
Mm-hmm.
I actually stumbled upon your video earlier today, probably about 2 or 3 hours ago.
Okay.
And so I got online and I saw that you were on live, and I thought
Let
this,
me say this.
with the interview session. So I can't lie and say that I'm well versed on
That's
the
okay.
different
But
content
you do
posted.
know who Shahrazad Ali is.
No, I don't know who that
Okay. Well,
is.
go look up Shahrazad Ali. Um, but then here's how about this? What we can say is this: whether you know me or my content or any of that stuff, what we can say is that, as non-scientific as it was, the 7,600 votes on a post, men said 83%. 83% of people said 83% of men said that modern women are not qualified for marriage, qualified marriageable, and you got to listen to that. That's what we ultimately, if we want to see more relationships and marriages, you got to give the consumer, men, the product they want, which is women. And I think it's fair to say that you're not seeing a overwhelming amount of black marriages today outside of the nation. Would that be fair?
Yeah.
All right. If you're not seeing that, the problem has to be where. And we've been saying the problem is often been put and said, well, it's men that don't want to get married. Well, if that were true, then black women should still be getting married to non-black men at a higher rate. But 1 in 4 can expect to be married. I would say this: brothers still want to get married. They just want a better quote unquote product, which is black women to at least understand what black men are saying they want. at a very basic level. And that's where the conversation has been missed.
I think another important part to add is that Black women are tend to be, in my opinion, so if there's a statistic out there, but Black women tend to be loyal to Black men. So even though you said, maybe we would see more Black women married to, other races, I definitely feel like Black women have a stronger loyalty to staying and waiting for Black men. And
Oh,
so
hold on. All right. Now we're gonna have okay. We're gonna have a problem now. Because there's no movement
okay.
with Black men. I'm not gonna say that. Look, if let's just take what you're saying is true. Black women have a loyalty to Black men. All right. So if Black women tomorrow stopped having this loyalty to Black men, what then what? Are the marital rates, what are the marital rates going to do for Black women in general?
I think that the marital rates will go up
Okay. Okay.
because
Listen,
Black men
listen.
want to
So,
be married.
okay. All right. But if 1 in 4 Black women can expect to be married, um, are you actually positing that the reason 1 in 4 Black women can expect to be married is because they solely want to marry Black men? Because I got to tell you, man, I don't see Brad, Lee, Ahmed, Keith, and Enrique run into the Black community trying to scoop up Black women to marry. That's just not what I see. Black women have always had access to marry Black. Loving versus Virginia. Black women have always been able to marry white men. There are movements talking about dating out, and I got no problem with it. But here's the thing: the majority of any group wants to be with its own group. The answer is never going to be for one group to go somewhere else. It's ultimately going to be for the women to give the men what they want. If you want men to buy marriage, you're going to have to sell them what they want. And it doesn't matter if it's a Black man or a white man, Hispanic man, Asian man, Vietnamese man, a Chinese, Asian man. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. I mean, no, come on, ladies. Come on. Issa Rae made a comment. Hey, you know what? Black women are at the bottom. Asian men are at the bottom. We should all hook up. And did Asian men rush out and be like, hey, let me go start marrying Black women? Problem is not that. The problem with marriage is at the end of the day, you got to give the consumer what they want. Simple. As simple as that. It may sound cold and analytical, but that's really what it comes down to. If 83% of the consumers think that they're not gonna get what they want, they're not gonna buy.
What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to Reality Pill. Today we are going to react to another Kevin Samuels video. Before we get into it, make sure you guys like and subscribe.
I said, go ahead.
I took myself out of the situation and actually thought about it. And I kind of agree with you. So
what were you offended about?
I think it was an offense is in when you did a comparison to say that Black women go to school and they're focused on education, and other races may go to school in finding of a husband. Mm-hmm. So at first I'm just like, I come from a Caribbean background, and you go to school, everything is about education, and we work so hard for you to be in this country, and you do that to make your parents proud, actually. So but I took myself out of the situation and I thought about it, and I said, you know what, he's completely right, because when I was in college, I didn't date with the lenses that I do now, and I actually see that how it's kind of shape and changes the dating scale.
Where do you live?
I live in Atlanta.
And where was your last relationship?
My last relationship was about 3 years ago.
How long did it last?
A year.
A year, and who ended it?
I did.
Why?
I have a complex that if I am not in myself feeling like I am 100%, in essence of if I'm not good with my career or things of that nature, I feel that I take it where I can be in this relationship.
What do you mean? If you're not 100% in your career, it can what?
In essence of like, if I am still trying to work on myself as a woman, I feel that the relationship, I can't be me in that relationship because I'm still focused on the growth component. And that is something I have also learned.
No. What it really is she's offloading all of her failures and projecting it onto her partner. So much so to where she probably starts looking at all the discrepancies and positions herself and says, I'm not here because of this. I'm failing at this part of my life because of this. And the partner gets a lot of that blame.
That I don't have to be 100% bringing everything to the table. So when I came across your content, it has changed my mindset and my perspective. So I just wanted to kind of ask you in essence of college women or women that, you know, are in their professions that make a certain amount of money that do desire to be married, that what is the essential where you say many times that when you get into your later 20s that time is not on your side.
All right, so your question is what? Shorten it down.
Yes, so my question is a woman that is 29 that makes six figures, that desires to be married, in essence of
married to whom?
Oh man, she loves this essence word. There aren't too many things I notice. Like I don't just nitpick with everything, but man, it's like a buzzword. It's like she just figured this word out and she's using it into the ground.
Do you want children?
I do.
Okay. How many children would you like to have?
I can have one or two.
One or two?
Yeah, man.
But and the last relationship you had was how many years ago?
4 years ago.
That's a problem. And why is it a problem? Because your relationship muscles have atrophied, right?
Okay.
So you may be a great worker, but what you want, are you really cut out to be in a relationship with anybody?
Right.
And then children, that's fine, but most men get into relationships to have children. What they're going to deal with, especially if they're talking about marriage. And are you willing to date somebody who's earning less than you? Are you? Yeah, well, are you willing to date somebody that's making less than you?
No.
Well, then I'm sorry. Why the question becomes, why would somebody who's making more than you want to date a woman who's older than them? I mean, who's not necessarily who's older, who only wants one kid, right? Why?
I didn't say I wanted one kid. I said I'm open to having one or two children. I come from a small family, so I don't know.
Well, that's fine. You can be open to it, but men generally want kids. And then what are you bringing to the table? What are you bringing to the table for this guy?
Okay.
So this is why I was talking about college and so many women who go to school, and it's like, okay, you've done all this for what? To be independent, right? You did all this to earn money to be independent.
Correct.
Okay, well, now you're independent. That's what you got. Now you're independent. Okay? You're independent. You're 29. You're making over six figures. You can't marry somebody who's making under six figures. Half the men in this country make under six figures. So now you pretty much destine yourself to die alone. Because I can't make more men make this amount of money, and I will just go on the. I will go and say that. Let's just say I believe you make what you say you make. Okay, and then what?
I'm listening. I'm taking in what you're saying.
No. Well, I don't need you to listen. I need you to dialogue.
Okay.
You went to school to be independent, to earn some money. Why does a man need to make what you're making in order to be your man?
I think in the past I have answered that question and say that I didn't care before, but I think as I grow and where I currently, how I provide for myself, I think that I would want maintenance or to continuously grow. And
okay, short answer up, ma'am. You talk too much too.
Saying a whole lot of nothing. But what she's really trying to say is she wants to be taken care of. She wants to be taken care of. She wants to be able to keep her money and have the man spend all of his money on both of them. But she's trying to sit here and make it seem sweet. And she need maintenance. What are you, a building, a plant?
I'm just gonna be honest. Every time I've asked you to talk, you're just blah 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 blah. And I'm not trying to be offensive, but that's too many words. Just make it quick. You need somebody to make what you're making, so you don't have to spend your money on them. Tell me I'm wrong.
I guess if you want to put it that way.
No, that's the way it is. You want your money for you. You don't want to spend your money on them. What's the most money you've ever spent on a man?
Probably like $600.
For what?
A birthday gift.
For what? What would you buy with $600?
Like on a trip, like an experience for him and his friends them.
Did you go on the trip?
Nope.
Well, $600. I'm be honest. I've said this before, so again, it's not to you. I laughed when the woman said she spent $600. We spend $600 in a weekend. You're a six-figure woman and $600. We spend that on a pair of shoes for you guys. Go ask the woman who I was on Clubhouse with. When she said that, I laughed. She said, I spent $600 on a Toomey bag. That's nothing. It's nothing in respect to your money. You have a relationship with your money. And that's more important than a man. Fine. But that's what you'll get instead of a man. Did you watch my broadcast on Beyonce and Jay-Z?
No, I didn't.
Oh, well, I did. If it's good enough for Beyonce. Beyonce has far more money than you, right?
I'm not this yet.
Yeah. And she worked for 7 years to earn Jay-Z's ring. She's better looking than most women, and she far out earns all you ladies. And if you go back and watch that broadcast, there's a reason why she has a husband and her sister doesn't. This is why I came down on the degrees, because your degree is not doing anything except keeping you single and selfish. Selfish meaning you value your money more than a person. So it wasn't about education. It was about an attitude. All right, if you're going to sit there, I'm going to go on to the next person. All this professional, I got a degree, I got a PhD.
I'm a PhD.
It don't matter. It does not matter. None of this stuff matters. No one can, your PhD cannot help you down the stairs. And this is what I was saying, that far too many of our sisters have been duped into thinking that college makes you fit. No, it doesn't.
I want to know what you guys think. Leave it in the comment section down below. Comment your thoughts and opinions. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you guys subscribe and turn on post notifications if you guys haven't already. And also, make sure you guys share this video with someone else trying to get this message around. Let's keep the Godfather's name alive. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.